Without further ado, running back for the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara.
This is really just a
Let's
recruiting
go.
trip.
Let's go.
All right.
Come to Carolina.
Now we're going to try to talk you into moving to Charlotte, divisional.
He's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna let a guy like you move spots in the same division.
Probably not.
I always hate when you roll into Charlotte because I know you're gonna work on.
Yeah, I'm in there for a mission, man. I'm trying to embarrass some people.
I mean,
Well, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
We are quite embarrassed.
Yeah.
I feel like every year, like there's always that last game where the Panthers play the Saints, and like it's the Panthers. If we win this game, we're going to the playoffs.
And then he runs for 200.
Exactly. That was I had a mission this past season. We played the Panthers last game. I'm like, yeah, okay. Division opponent last game go out. We wasn't making the playoffs anyway, so I'm like, all right, let's try to make a statement real quick.
It's a good game. It was good. As a Panthers fan, it was still it was not the ending I wanted, but
Exactly. That end result.
It's a W or
Yeah,
an
it was
L.
a-
That's
come
all
on.
it is. That's all
still
it
good
is.
football. It was good football.
Man, what are you doing out here in LA with us?
Man, I'm relaxing, man. I'm here for the same reason you here, except I'm not gonna be behind the wheel.
But you're gonna be chilling though.
Yeah, I'll be chilling.
Said the Grammys are in town. You can go see
Grammys
some
in
stuff
town,
there.
yeah, and check that out. And then obviously gonna be at the Coliseum.
Man.
Watch y'all do what y'all got to do.
Man, I've seen you at a bunch of racetracks lately. Did
Yeah,
a bit of a,
Nashville, been Atlanta, been to Daytona, I've been all over. It's
what
been
got
fun.
you? What got you interested in our sport?
No, it was during the pandemic. Like I've seen NASCAR on TV, but it's not something that I just tuned into. But
Yeah.
during the pandemic, nothing was going on. I just sat down and watched for a second. I'm like, man, I'm watching, and I'm like listening to what's going on from the pit and just everything, spotters, everything. So I'm like, yo, it's a lot more intricate than what I thought.
Yeah.
I just thought y'all was going around the track.
Bunch of rednecks
That's what
running a circle.
exactly. That's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
But, once I started paying attention, I'm like, okay, it's a lot more to this sport. So I kind of just reached out to NASCAR on social, like, man, I'm in Miami at the time. I'm like, man, this is, I'm watching for the first time. I didn't know it was, I'm actually enjoying it. Like, I didn't know all this went into it. So,
What was that first racetrack experience like? Because watching on TV is one thing. Going to the racetrack is a different thing.
So that's what I was getting to. So, I kind of get connected and they hit back and was like, thanks for, tuning in and watching. And I'm like, shoot, they got to have a race coming up soon, another race. So I'm like, I checked the schedule and Homestead.
Yeah.
So I'm in Miami. So I'm like, can I come to the race? And at this time, obviously it was COVID. So, nobody was coming to the track. So they ended up giving me a suite. I went to the race. And I mean, even without fans, it was amazing. It was cool just to see all the cars and like really feel like, what you guys feel. Cause you guys are down there in the car. You kind of see how fast everybody's going in relation to watching on TV. You can't really get a good grasp on what's going on. But when you get there, you're like, okay, this is serious.
Now, how much I go back and think about, you just mentioned COVID, no fans being there, and only select VIPs showing up at the racetrack. Yeah. It just felt like a practice session that you're racing, right? You get paid to practice. That's kind of what it felt like because there was no energy in the arena. How did that feel like for NFL when y'all were playing with no fans?
Man, for us, it's a little different because I don't know. Do y'all feel the fans?
No.
Yeah,
unless Dale Jr. took the lead.
Okay, I got you.
Or Chase Elliott.
Yeah. So you in that stadium, you feel the fans. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not so much when you out there actually running and active, but I mean, on the sideline, you feel it because, I mean, there's a lot of times where we're just stationary. I'm on the sidelines. I can turn around and have a conversation with somebody. So COVID, when there was nothing going on, like literally no fans in the stadium, it's just referees, the other team and our team. It was, I mean, you had to get up for those Sundays. Like you had to kind of like, you had to hype yourself up to be out there because like you said, it was kind of like practice. So you kind of, I think that year showed a lot of like, you see a lot of guys that they just doing it for, the fans and the cheers and the yelling and stuff and the claps.
And the money.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. We all doing it for a little bit of money. But
right.
I mean, you kind of saw a little shift in guys' demeanor because, they couldn't do it without, that those roars and those claps. But, you got to treat it's work. So you got to definitely go out there and be ready every Sunday.
How much talking is there?
On the field?
Yeah.
I don't talk to nobody. I don't say nothing.
No?
I talk to my teammates. I don't talk to the other team unless like
Never?
nah.
Dude, I'm talking so much.
Nah, I don't talk no
Everybody around.
I don't talk no because my play does it. You know what I'm saying? And then but they start talking to me, and then by the end of the game, it's like, oh, what's up, bro? Can I get a jersey? And I'm like, that's when I talk like, hell no, you can't get a jersey. Like, but
been chirping all game. Now you want a jersey?
Yeah, I don't really talk too much because I don't got nothing to talk about. Like,
is there somebody stands out that's a chirper? You can name names. That's fine.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't got no shame in that. Somebody had talk a lot of
I feel like
How was Josh Norman?
defensive back.
Josh talk. He always talk though. But Josh old now.
Yeah, he's an old head. Well,
I was like,
he can't even catch a cold out there.
Josh, he's still got talent though. But Josh, his thing, he always try to punch the ball out. That's his main thing. So that's all he was trying to do the whole last game. He like, I'm gonna get you. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. You ain't. This your last time running right there. You good?
I mean, he was selling coffee in Atlanta. I think.
Oh yeah. He got it. It's literally. He literally right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
We on the same street.
Really?
We was talking about that during the game. I talked to him a little bit through the timeout since the last game, no playoffs. So I was being a little more active than I was. But
Like he owned a coffee shop, or he was like a barista in there with like a beanie.
He owns a coffee shop.
But he was also working in
he was working in there.
Yeah.
Johnson ain't had nothing to do. So he was just playing. It was like he just came like, oh, y'all want me to play? Cool. All right.
Cool, hang on. Let me finish this cup.
We'll take anybody.
Cappuccino.
I just like the fact that y'all were talking during like timeouts and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's nothing really riding on the game. It's like, oh hey, how's that
Josh
going?
talk a lot. Jalen Ramsey talk a lot. That's my boy. Devin White. Them dudes.
Do you link up with a guy like that out here when you're out in L.A.?
Jalen? Yeah. Me and Jalen cool. Me and Jalen tight. So I'll link up with Jalen. But what other dudes? Them dudes from the Chiefs. They talk a lot.
They're good though. They can back it up.
Yeah, they good. But like I said, I don't really talk. I don't engage too much. My teammates, they talk a lot.
Yeah, well, hey,
Tyrann
that's part of the game.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Another part of the game I wanted to get into with is just that mental preparation, right? And something I've always been fascinated, particularly watching football guys and running backs in particular, or QBs, when you hit a hole, when you find a lot of times it's not even a hole until you hit it and you make it a hole.
Yeah.
How much of that is mental preparation or just instinctive?
Man, I think for me, just speaking personally, I don't know about a lot of the other guys. I think it's instinctive for me. So, I mean, throughout the week, it's so much film preparation, and there's so much. I mean, you watch so much film every day, all day. So, for me, I feel like the film part of it, I understand it already. Like, I especially playing against the Carolinas, the Atlantas, and guys like that, teams that you've seen over and over again. And then obviously, this is my 6th year going into my 7th now. So,
me too, man.
Let's freaking go. We're good. So. You've seen all these dudes, like you've been to all these tracks, so you know where everything is. So for me, I kind of try to keep everything super instinctive. Like I try not to overwatch the film and try not to dive too deep into what these teams are doing and scheming up against me. So on the field, when something happens, it's more so it's just reaction. Because I mean that's what's gonna happen. You might watch film on a guy. I don't know how it works for y'all, but I might watch film on the guy and it's like, oh, well, he tackles low, and then in the game he might hit you high, or this team is going to try to defend you one way and they do it another way. So regardless of how much film you watch, you always have to react on game day. Yeah, so that's right. With me, it's just reactive. Like,
same.
Yeah.
But it's also a mix, right? You're prepared, but
of course, definitely prepared. But I try
to just play
my hardest to just play.
Yeah. Same. You can get paralysis by analysis. I'm bad about that.
100%. I'll be telling dudes that I'm like, man. Dudes calling me at night, watching film and looking at stuff. I'm like, bro, leave me alone.
Go to bed, man.
Yeah, go to sleep.
You got it. There is a big part of it that you have to disconnect at a certain point.
You got to. Yeah.
Have you been out and seen the track yet?
Yeah, I actually just went. I was out there with Raja Karu.
Yeah.
We just did some laps.
Did
he
scare you?
Nah, he didn't scare me.
You never played at this stadium, right?
Yeah, I played.
You played here?
My rookie year, we played here. We played the Rams here. Yep.
Was it electric? It's not going to be as electric.
Yeah,
as
it was crazy.
On Sunday.
It was nuts. It was crazy. I had a great game that game.
Really? Is there any other stadiums that stick out to you that you would like to see a racetrack in, or that are more electric than others that you go to?
Well, we did it reverse. We put a field at Bristol last year in Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, you played in that game?
Yeah, I played in that game.
I don't want to talk about that.
It was a one and done too, unfortunately.
Yeah, they only did it
now,
once.
did that have like a reverse effect because the stadium's so big?
I didn't feel the fans at all.
Yeah,
it was like you looking out and like it was just dark. I'm like, dang, you don't see nothing. But it was a dope experience just because of
nobody
the
else
nature
could say they did it.
Yeah, nobody done it.
Western Carolina played ETSU there too, so there were 2 games that season.
Wow.
Crowd was a lot less for
as a warm-up game. As a warm-up
They just wanted to see logistically if they could do it.
Was it at capacity for your? It was.
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
It had to be.
You gotta look that up.
Loud.
Yeah. I asked you before we jump on the show. It's always curious to me, man. You guys got 17 games, right? It was 16 now, 17 games this year. What's the toll the body takes over the course of the year?
I think after the first week, it's like every week after that is like
you stay sore.
Man, you sore. And, I mean, it's a race to everybody's in the race to be as close to 100% on Sunday.
What's that look? What's the process? Sauna, ice baths?
Man, saunas, ice baths. Like I do all that. Saunas, ice baths. I got a dude that flies in and does body work from Wednesday all the way up until Sunday morning, sit right before the game if I need it. So these sessions that I'm in, just working on my feet, calves, ankles, everything is like it could be 6-7 hours at a time, like sitting, laying on the table and getting right. So
well, people are always blown away when they hear how much athletes, guys like you, guys like LeBron James, he spends over $1 million a year on health, right?
Yeah,
but
got to.
If you spend $1 million a year and that gets you another year or two, that's paying for itself 3-4 times over.
You paying yourself at that point.
No
so
doubt.
like right now, right when the season's over, how much time will you take off to just rest before you start working out again?
I'm chilling right now with y'all. I'm chilling, but I don't do nothing. I don't touch a weight or football. I don't watch a football, nothing. I'll probably get back training around the end of March. Go back down to Miami and just get back into it, hit it hard until July. I'm pretty much locked in training until July.
You gonna try to come out to Daytona with?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'll be
you're gonna go to the 500.
Come on, man.
Dude.
I'm coming.
That one's gonna be special.
They tell me it's a party. That's what I'm on. I'm trying to go.
It's a party right here at Race Service, but Daytona's a party.
They said Daytona the real party.
Yeah, it is.
When you said you didn't feel the fans like at Daytona, I mean, I gotta imagine you feel the fans there.
That was like there's I'm sure 3-4 games a year, and I'm sure some playoff games too. Like where you walk out. And it's just different.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel
like this is what I've been working my whole life for. When they call your name for the Daytona 500, you're like, this is what it's about.
Yeah,
Yeah, we won it last year, so we won the 500. And like you kind of, when you're working in the pit box, you kind of just get in your,
by the way.
you get in your own world. But when you like, you don't realize it, but we ran out on the front stretch when we won, and I looked up, and it's like a wall of people.
Yeah,
and it's just like holy. You get you get in your own.
You get in the zone.
Like when you're on the sideline, you don't realize how many people are there until you look up and you're like, whoa.
Well, you've been a pre-race before too, and it's so different from you got people all over them taking pictures from the moment they climb in the car.
I always talk to dudes. I'm like, man, how do y'all do that? Like, I don't want to interact too much before a game. Like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to, unless it's like my family there or something. Like,
it's a little bit different though, because I think about that, right? Because we're taking pictures and we're shaking hands and we're kissing babies right before you get in. I also don't stick a helmet on and go run 30 miles an hour into something.
For sure, but you still got to compete though.
Yes.
So like it's you in a different zone when you're competing than when you're like being social and kicking it. Like after what y'all do before the race is what I do after the game. Like socializing, what's up, pictures, all that. Before the game, I'm not doing none of that.
You're ready to kill somebody.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to say nothing. So I respect that because y'all turn it right on right before y'all go out. They do the anthem and it's like, all right, it's game time. But y'all was just now taking pictures 5 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago.
It took me a little while to figure that out to where like your visual cues. I'm sure you have some visual cues, some breathing techniques.
You know what time it is.
Yeah. And what time is that for you? Is that during warm-ups? Is that before the game? Is it on the sidelines of the national anthem?
It's definitely during warm-ups. So ours is like I got everything. I'm super, super, super like honed in on my routine and stuff. So like I pay attention to little things like our owner, Miss Benson. When she comes out, I know it's time for me to like I always hit. I don't even got to look for her. Like I'm always doing the same thing right when she's walking out to like she do her little wave and kiss babies and do what she got to do. But it's so much going on. Like, the refs come out and like they're talking to the coach and just certain things that I look for. And I'm like, okay, it's almost that time for me to like go real 0 dark 30 and lock in all the way. But other than that, man, I keep it pretty loose. I don't take it too serious. But as far as the interaction part, I'll try not to.
So what's different about Alvin Kamara between the lines than sitting here on the couch?
Sitting on the couch, I think.
Because you can see you locked in. I'm like, I wouldn't want to mess.
So I'm Alvin Kamara right now on the field. I'm 41. It's still some personality like from me right now, but it's a different like my mentality is like I feel like I'm the like nobody can touch me.
Let's go
at all. Like nobody can touch me, and if you get in my way, it's gonna be bad. I'm never gonna be on the bad side of whatever.
I got some 3 fast hitting questions for you.
Right,
I asked
pretty
much all that. It's not super fast. You can elaborate on the answer, but most of the guys on the show are drivers, right? Guys that won a race, whatever. So the first question was, if you can race. So the driver question is, if you can pick one car and one racetrack to race at the rest of your life, what do you go with? But I'm going to change it for you. If you can pick one stadium to play at against one opponent the rest of your life, who you picking?
I think I would play. Dang. The stadium I'll play at, they got some nice stadiums, but
you can only have one.
Yeah, you only got one.
It's quiet.
Y'all put me on the spot.
Yeah, I told you it was a hard hitting question.
Yeah, that's a hard one. But I think I would probably play. I'll probably play against the Eagles, and I'll probably play them at. I'm leaving the Superdome out. I'll probably play them in Minnesota because that stadium. I like that stadium.
You like that stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the? There was a big thing about turf too. This I'm getting off the rabbit hole.
So I mean,
how much of it is it a big difference?
Yeah, I think it's a different. It's just like when y'all talk about the tracks, like certain asphalt,
abrasive. Or
yeah,
not. Yeah.
So like, I think when you get older, I think a lot of guys the turf is a little bit harder on them because under it is a hard surface, and then they build on top of it, put the pellets down in the grass. But natural grass, you can't never beat natural grass, like just dirt, like actual dirt, and it reacts different with your cleats and everything. So I'm with me, I don't care too much. I can do turf, I can do grass, but I think a lot of guys find that you might your feet or your cleats catch a little bit different in the turf than they do in the grass, and like some of the injuries you saw during the season
on turf.
They're saying if it's in grass, your leg will move from up under you, or it wouldn't get caught the same way. So I don't know.
So you're going with the Eagles
in Minnesota.
Okay, love that. That's first. Obviously, we haven't talked to any NFL guys on the show. Question number 2. What is your most embarrassing football memory?
My most embarrassing football memory? Damn. I don't get embarrassed too much. I think it might have been this season. Like, I had a little fumbling spree. I fumbled like 4 times.
Hold on to that ball, Petey.
Yeah, for sure. I think that might be the most embarrassing.
How do you break that slump then?
It's tough because you can't. I mean, you got the whole week to practice, and you could go through like ball security and stuff like that, but you can't simulate the game because nobody is going to try to attack the ball or like punch the ball out, get the ball from you like they do on Sunday. So, I mean, you kind of got to like, with me, it's funny because I'll make a mistake like that on Sunday, and like people might see me like smiling or laughing on the sideline, but in my head, it's like, shoot, you got to move on. You can't, if you make a mistake, like I can't call a timeout and be like, all right, hold on, let me get my mind right. It's just like, shoot, all right, we got to move on. So I just put it behind me.
Yeah.
Coaches yelling, coaches talking like, yo, leave me alone. Like, I got it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm a pro.
So, yeah, I fumbled one game, figured it out for 2 games, fumbled another game. I'm like, all right, it's taking a little longer to figure this out.
All right, last question. And you can, I'll give you a different option to choose from.
All right,
so
give me a segue.
The question was, what's your first ever football memory? Or if you don't have a great one there, was there a memory of where you realized that you'd made it to the pros?
I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
My memory of when I realized I made it was in Minnesota. That was my first game, my first NFL game. So I went out. I was on kick return that game for whatever reason. And
because you're fast?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the whole week, it wasn't like I wasn't on kick return and they threw me out there. I went back there and I'm like, it's so surreal because you just get out and I'm like, I felt like a fan. I'm looking at the crowd, and the next thing I know, the whistle blew. And I'm like, what? It was a touchback.
You weren't even watching?
Yeah, I wasn't. Because I was just caught up in the moment and like, dang, I'm out here now. Whistle blew, touchback, dudes run past me. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I tried to act like I was good. I'm like, yeah, all right. And I just walked to the sideline. They're like, what was you doing? I was like, nothing. I was looking at the ball. I knew it was going over my head. But like at that point, I was like, damn, in the NFL. And it wasn't from like a nervous standpoint. It was just like, damn, you've been thinking about this your whole life. Like, been working up to that point your whole life. So it was super dope. I remember that.
That's a great story.
Yeah,
that's a great story.
I
Man,
didn't told about that.
Well, now everybody knows. It'll be on Stephen A. Smith's world before long. Can't thank you enough for jumping out here,
no doubt.
LA with us, stacking pennies at race service. I'm gonna see you this weekend. Maybe I'll give you a ride or something.
Hopefully. I was trying to. Can I drive your car?
After practice, if it's driving like shit, I'll let you take it first.
All right. For sure.
Cool, man. Well, hey, good luck to you. Be safe.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all.
Take it easy on them Panthers now.
Yeah. Never.
Alvin Kamara, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Let's go.